Hey Logan. Just wanted to say one of my fondest memories I have of you was when I was your experimental design partner for Science Olympiad, and we were practicing, and we would always go into the backroom supply closet to find weird things to do different experimental design stuff with, and then we wouldn't tell Lowski when we were done. And instead we would find sheets of loose leaf paper that were in old cabinets and draft out different Warhammer armies and talk about different strategies and just do not what we were supposed to, but have fun. And I really appreciate you bringing me into Science Olympiad and making that a part of my life and introducing me to the group of friends that was my life for so long. So thank you.
Hey Logan. You know, I never got to see you in pants. As weird as that sounds. You had a weird obsession with shorts, and no matter the weather, you always wore shorts. Apparently, I've seen photos where you are supposedly wearing pants, but I think those are photoshopped or a lie. Even for your high school graduation, I think you snuck in with shorts, even though you're supposed to dress up. But I wanted to tell you I'm sorry that we drifted apart after I moved to Texas. Especially after I felt like we were really starting to connect and become really good friends. We hung out all the time. We had our group. I got just as frustrated with you with those games. Oh man. I really wanted to stay close. But life gets in the way sometimes. And I understand that life can be hard and difficult and unforgiving. And I believe I know a part of how you felt. And I think a lot of us probably know that feeling. I never thought you were a failure. I don't think any of us did. And I'm sorry I couldn't tell you that. And that you are one of the smartest people that I know. I thought of this message while driving up from Texas today. And I started crying because it started to hit me really hard that you're not here. And I should have talked to you more. And I'm sorry. And it's strange that to think that I'm attending your funeral right now. But I wanted to say bye in person, and I really hope that one day we can see each other again. Thank you, Logan.
If I had to pick a single story from times I've known Logan, I met him freaking playing video games, what else can you expect from me? I think one of the funniest times I remember with Logan was when we were I think Galen's house, and we were playing his favorite board game ever, Sheriff of Nottingham, and I had never played it before. Very quickly became one of mine because it's this amazing bluffing game that's really interesting and has all these little intricacies and create alliances, destroy alliances, and like all of this sort of stuff. The thing that Logan loved because it was also a lot of card counting, which I'm freaking too good at. But in that game, there's always like this one commodity that's just pretty much useless. It's pepper. It's risky to import. It's not very good. But you know what? I said screw it. The first time I played that game, I'm like, I will become the Spice Lord. And this baffled Logan to just a frankly ridiculous degree because it wasn't optimal, it didn't make sense, and it was such a stupid play. And just to kind of that really intellectual mind, it just didn't work. And at the end of the game, we tallied up all the points. I had got nearly second, and he was just like, you know what, Alec, you know what, that was pretty good. I would have never expected to have the Spice Lord get second place. But it kind of just reminded me of how, as I was listening to all the service, just kind of how he has this creativity and ingenuity, and how he kind of took that, he saw what I was doing, and he just made a day out of it. He'd make really stupid deals with me because he knew I wanted all the pepper, and and from then on, that always kind of became the status quo, and he would find new ways to exploit my desire for spices. But that was definitely one of my favorite memories with them, was just playing that one game and kind of remembering all those different moments and all those different little interactions and how much we both enjoyed trying to outbluff each other.
I can't really say that I have a favorite memory with Logan, because all the times with Logan were my favorites. Just the time that we would spend just up in his room, just reading books that, like, I'd be reading his Calvin and Hobbes collection, and he'd be reading one of his large, thick novels, and it was just a time where we were bonding in a way that, like, most other people don't understand on how people can bond that way. But we would just have this time where we would just spend with each other just reading books and just enjoying each other's company. And then there would be times where we would play video games or watch a movie down in the basement, and we'd have a lot of fun there. But I really enjoyed Logan's imagination, just the ability to just come up with these stories with me, and we would just play them out, especially with our other cousins, especially at Tanya and Blair's house, with all the different toys and costumes that we would dress up as, and the stories that we would do, and the adventures that we would go on. I just enjoyed my time with Logan as someone that I felt like I could really express myself with, that someone that understood me. And so I'm going to miss you, Logan. I can't wait to see you in heaven.
Hi, my name's Josh Gerke. I've known Logan since I was a sophomore in high school, I think, but I only really started talking to him when it was my junior year. And I think one of my fondest memories is just playing PUBG with him, and then it was the day that he and Galen came up with the white puffy jacket, no pants, no shirt, and shoes strat. Which is where it's exactly what it sounds like. We'd be wearing nothing but hats, a puffy white jacket, and shoes, and we would just run around and just it was a fun time. There's really not too much to say else on the matter. I'm gonna miss him a lot.
Hello, Glenn and Lori. I know you just recently met us today. I wish it was on better circumstances, but my name is Athanasios Miletus. This is my beautiful wife, Andrea Miletus. And we just kind of want to give you an insight to everything your son has done for us. So, I am one of those typical nerds who enjoys playing video games competitively for money. Not very good at it, of course, because your son always beat me, but, it's besides the point. So, my very first tournament I went to here, I walked in the door, kind of very timid, not sure what was going on, and a very tall, slender man comes up to me and introduces himself as, "Hi, I'm Toothpick." Tag seemed to make sense considering he didn't look like he was pushing more than about $1.20, and it turned out to be Logan. And that's when I realized I was going to spend the next 2 years of my life losing to this man. So, our house kind of became the place to be when it came to board games, video games, stuff like that. Logan loved coming over and we loved having him. The issue was, there was almost no point in playing the board games because we kind of knew who was going to win. And that eventually started to get a little upsetting, but I took it as a challenge. So I would plot week after week on how to beat this man in his own game. But I couldn't do it. And if I thought I had him, he was 3 steps ahead. And if I found the perfect people to help me beat him, he somehow turned them on me and I ended up losing harder than before. It is the worst feeling I've ever felt. I've had my own friends turned on me because he is just so persuasive and amazing at what he does. We found a really, very, very fitting nickname for him. He is the General. No matter what, they're going to listen to him and they're going to follow him. As I did. I love your son very much. And he did mean a lot to me, as much as he did to you. And I hope just very small insights to his life through us gives you a lot. On a happier note, sorry, you don't have to press stop or anything like that. I'll keep going.
Yeah, we're both gonna go.
Okay. On a happier note, sorry. The story is going to sound very awkward to hear. because this is the story of how Logan helped me break into your house for the very first time. So, terrible transition point to this story, I know, I'm sorry. But Logan, we're planning to have a board game night at our friend Alex. And he calls me and says, hey, I locked my keys in my car. I can't get to the board games. You live close to me. Can you help me out? And I was like, of course. What do you need me to do? And he said, so here's my garage code. Go in there, grab the keys. I'm not sure who's going to home. Knock first, of course. And then if no one's there, use the garage code and try to grab the keys. They're right inside the door. You don't have to go inside or anything. I was like, okay, sounds great. I'll do that for you. I go to the house, and I'm ringing the doorbell, and no one's answering. I'm really hoping I don't have to go in there myself, considering I haven't really met you guys yet. And I call him and I tell him, hey, no one's here, but there's a car here. Do you know like whose this car is, or like, does that mean someone told me? He's like, no, it's just my dad's cop car. Don't worry about it. So now I realize I'm breaking into a cop's house with his son's permission. And my mind is racing, because what if I'm inside the house and he just comes home? This is not a believable story. I can't just say, Logan sent me in here to grab keys because he locked his keys in his car and now we can't play board games. So now I'm reaching for the garage code, and he's on the phone with me and he tells me, oh, by the way, when you get into the garage, don't let the big dog run outside. Now, I'm used to very large dogs in my life, about 150, 180 pounds, no issue. I open that door and I see the mammoth of a dog that you guys have inside of that house just staring me down, and it was the most terrifying yet most adorable moment of my life.
Mountain Doggy.
I have named him Mountain Doggy, and he is my favorite because he loves me and I love him.
We all love him.
That's really it from me. A little more wacky stuff from her because she's on the more cooking side, and we all know how this is going to go.
Well, Logan, he was one of the guys that made me feel comfortable. I came to Colorado a year ago, and because of the board game nights, he's made me feel a part of this group. Because of that, it's just, he's amazing. He always came to our house, and even though we provided the house and the food, he was the host. He made it feel like it was his own. And it's just hard without him. There was this one time I made roast beef before I went to work, and I didn't realize anyone else was coming over, but of course they were always welcome to come over, and they always did. I put a teaspoon of red chili pepper in the roast beef, and he decided to eat it, and then he threw it back in the crock pot because it was too spicy. We always joke around that we're going to give out spicy ketchup as a dipping sauce for anything we have, just because of him.
All right. So I hope these stories really did help you. He helped us, we helped him, and anything you or your family may need, we're definitely there for you. Whatever you need, we're very close.
Definitely.
And we just thank you for this opportunity, letting us share this story with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I met your son 6 months ago. The first time that I had ever gone to a tournament. I was accompanied by my best friend Brian, and he was pointing out everybody. He was like, yeah, that guy destroyed me. Yeah, he beat me. 3-0. He got me. And I was mortified. Everybody in there I was told was an absolute monster. My first tournament game was against Logan. Number 3 in the state. My first game. It did not end well. I died so many times. And every time he would look at me and say, good try. After the game, shook hands, and he looked at me and was like, yeah, you can get better. And I was like, I don't need to hear this from you. I'm like, just be honest. And I know why he was so good now, hearing all of these stories and all of these different talks, people saying that he had the mind of some kind of master strategist, being 3 steps ahead of you and always having a plan named after every letter of the alphabet. And if he can stomp so many people greater than me, I only imagine how well this man could read me. Almost like I am a part of the Harry Potter series. He was a great person. He had helped me through so many things. He always knew how to fit in both physically into the smallest part of the couch to still talk to his friends, and emotionally into seemingly any group he wanted to. He always knew exactly what to say, exactly who to say it to, and with surgeon-like precision, able to get anything out there, I guess. He was a great person, and I'm so sorry that I only got to know him as this tall guy who would always and over kick my ass. It's really the only memory I have of Logan, and I'm sorry, but that's it.
Alright, so I don't really have much to say. I've only met Logan for about same time as Nathan, 6 months. But every time I'd be around him, it was just really cool. Like, I'd always feel like an outcast when I'm over there sometimes. Like, he'd always try and include me, and it, I don't know, felt really special to me. I didn't even know him for that long, and I feel like it's made me feel like a lot. And something I feel really small in. And I thank him for that. I'm sorry you had to lose him.
Hi. So, I just wanted to tell you guys my favorite memory of Logan. And it was actually pretty recent, like last year, when we all got together at Blair and Tanya's house and we were playing games with him. And favorite one that he played, he introduced us to Avalon, which was where he was like Merlin, and there was like all the, you know, people that had to go on the quest or whatever. And I just remember being introduced to that game and just seeing how much Logan loved his games, which I'm sure everybody knows, but I just really saw a different side of him, and it was really fun to experience that with him and get to know him through games, because our family actually loves games. And ever since I've played that game, I wanted to get it because of Logan's excitement and influence, and just the fun we all had together, and just laughing, and how he was so strategic, very strategic, and he wouldn't like let us know his secret like moves, and how he would like analyze and strategize. So anyway, miss you, Logan, and love you guys, and thank you for just being such a wonderful part of our family.